So let's rank all the flicks I watched for the first time for the month of November 2025.
Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews.
So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome again to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and I'm here with my ranking of my first time watches for the month of November 2025. I kept track this time, managed not to miss any. I watched an overall total of 20 big films. So I'm gonna try and go rapid fire real quickly so I can get this video done faster than what I could usually get. Okay? Because some of these I will be talking about soon, okay? And some I've already talked about. If you're ready, let's start this ranking. Sit back, relax, and here we go. Coming in at number 20 is The Twits. This is a new Netflix film based on Roald Dahl's book about two brave children who team up with a family of magical animals to bring down the meanest, nastiest villains who pull a trick to take over their town. I'll talk more about this in one of the mini reviews if it's coming up later in the week. This film was not that great. While I appreciate something else from Roald Dahl, this was from a book I wasn't too familiar of his. I might come down hard on this one. Maybe not as hard as I did with the Smurfs film. Next up at number 19 is The Mail Lady 2. Now, this is the sequel to the 2023 film. And, well, it's okay, but this kind of kept me baffled at times. This wasn't quite as good as its predecessor. Now, of course, the same titular character from the first film is back and is building a new life after shooing the man she had a bit of a killer crush on, but disappears without a trace, and, well, she's under a stolen name. But she learns she's pregnant with that man's child and what have you. And the obsession reignites. I don't know when I should talk about this one or its predecessor. Who knows? This film was okay. It wasn't great as the first one. It was alright. At number 18 is A Merry Little Xmas. Now, this is another film that didn't quite turn out to be as good as I hoped for. Anyway, this is a Netflix film about the two people who all they want for Christmas is an amicable divorce and one last holiday as a family, but new flames and old feelings complicate their plans. While I did like the performances from Alicia Silverstone and we had many others, Melissa Joan Hart as well. I am gonna say this film's okay. It didn't turn out to be as good as I hoped for, even with Steve Carell directing this film. Oh well, you you tried, but you didn't really bomb though. Next at number 17 is Playdate. This is a new Prime Video film that also didn't turn out to be as good as I hoped for. About an out of work accountant, well, joins a stay well joins a stay-at-home dad for a play date with their sons. Well, it built and expects a laid-back afternoon. Instead, it turns into a big, well, action-packed thrill ride where they're chased by mercenaries. Well, Kevin James is fine. Alan Richson, however, was pretty good in this. So I will say this. He was one of the things I really liked about this film. I don't know where if I'd review this or not, but this film's okay though. Next at number 16 we have The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Now this is a new remake of the 1992 film of the same name. Well, it's okay, but it's not as good as the original. I did like Micah Monroe and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who both did well in this, but the rest just didn't turn out to be, well, completely gray and what have you. Believe me, stick with the original. The original's much better than this one, definitely. I know I've yet to review that film. Details to follow when I review it. Next at number 15, we have, oops, 1 and 5. There we go. Number 15 is Party Line from 1988. Now, this is another film that I thought was going to be good, but it really kept me baffled. It's about a rich brother and his sister who are crazy killers. The sister lures him into her bed, and the brother attacks him and murders them. And a detective is assigned to find the killers and bring them in. I thought this was about two gals and what have you, but this proved me wrong and what have you. Well, the film's alright, but maybe not that great. But it was surprising that I got to see, well, Richard Roundtree, the original Shaft himself, appear in this film. That was kind of a surprise to me. Definitely. And coming in at number 14 is Sidelined 2 Intercepted. Now, this is the new sequel to last year's Sidelined, The QB and Me. Now, we do have the same director and the two main cast members of Noah Beck as Drayden and Sienna Agudong as Dallas. Well, apparently, after a devastating setback, they have to, well, which happens to Drayden, and Dallas begins to question the future she thought she wanted. Well, things take a real big turn for him. They try to get back on track, though. This film's just about as good as its predecessor, which I really did like. This film's pretty good. I think for once Tubi gave us another a decent film and a decent sequel as well. Definitely. Next at number 13 is Regretting You. Now, this is based on Colleen Hoover's novel, the same name. It's about a mother and her daughter, well, who explore what's left behind after a devastating accident and reveals a shocking betrayal and forces them to confront family secrets and other things. I did like McKenna Grace and Allison Williams, Dave Franco, Mason Thames. They were all really good. I'll tell you more about this in one of the mini reviews vids that's coming up. This will be featured in one of the two mini reviews vids coming up later in the week. And coming at number 12 is Naked Gun 33 and the Third, The Final Insult from 1994. Now, this, of course, is the final installment until we got to see a legacy sequel just more recently. We'll see where that and the two films that came before this wind up. Leslie Nielsen's still pretty good in this as Lieutenant Frank Drebin. Priscilla Presley, George Kennedy, O.J. Simpson, they all returned from the previous films. We got Fred Ward, Kathleen Freeman, and Nicole Smith. Yeah, they're pretty good as the baddies and what have you. Well, Fred Ward's a real baddie, though. But anyway, the film's pretty funny and has some craziness. Although I feel it's my least favorite of the series. Check out my review of it if you haven't seen it yet. And coming in at number 11 is The Family Plan 2. Now, this is the sequel to The Family Plan, which premiered a couple of years back on Apple TV, when it was, well, formerly Apple TV Plus. Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Monaghan, they're all back. The two kids are back, well, with the exception of a ground version of the baby and what have you. I gotta say, this was an improvement over the first one, don't get me wrong, but I feel like this is pretty fun and what have you, especially with the various things around Europe. Absolutely thought that was pretty good. Check out my spoiler free review of this if you haven't seen it yet. I can see it's doing better now. Good. Now for the top 10. At number 10, we have Jurassic World Rebirth. Now, this is the new installment of the Jurassic Park and World series. While I liked Scarlett Johansson's performance, the rest of the cast wasn't too bad, but this is kind of tough to decide where this or the last one, Dominion, would be my least favorite. I don't know. I am going to try and rewatch the series and try and rank these one day. But I'm going to say it's fine in what have you. Might not have been great in what have you, but I know it has its flaws like any of the other films that follow Jurassic World, but even so. It's not too bad. Check out my spoiler-free review of this if you haven't seen it yet. Next at number 9 is The Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear from 1991. The sequel to the original, which is still ahead. I gotta say, this was funny and what have you. I mean, once again, Leslie Nielsen, he's funny. Priscilla Presley, George Kennedy, O.J. Simpson, they were all really good. But I really liked the performance of Robert Goulet in this. It was pretty funny. I gotta say, this is a pretty good sequel. I actually thought it was pretty good. Check out my review of it if you haven't seen it yet. It's definitely a fun one. And coming in at number 8 is The Lost Bus. This is a new Apple TV film with Matthew McConaughey and America Ferrera, who absolutely did amazing in this. About a determined father who risks everything to rescue a dedicated teacher and her students from a raging wildfire. Of course, this is based on actual events, and well, I have to say it was really good. Now, although the other teacher was not involved because this involved two teachers, the actual story, but one didn't want to get involved. But I understand. Check out my review of it if you haven't seen it yet, and maybe you'll get a chance to watch this. This wasn't too bad. Next at number 7 is Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Now, this is the new installment of the Now You See Me series, and it was great to have the original Four Horsemen reunite with some new allies, plus the return of well, Lula May from the previous film to join the Horsemen on the action. I gotta say, this was very, very good. The Horsemen prepare for their biggest and most ambitious heist yet. They take on powerful diamond heiress. If you haven't seen my review of this yet, which is spoiler free, check it out and then check out the movie. It's pretty good. Next at number 6 is The Running Man. Now, this is a new adaptation of Stephen King's novel of the same name. About a man who is convinced by the game show's charming but ruthless producer to enter the deadly competition game as a last resort. But, well, it turns out to be a really fun-filled thrill ride. I'm rather sorry to say that I'm not impressed in how well this movie's, and they're saying it's bombing like crazy. Come on, you guys, get over it, okay? This movie may not do as well, but it probably won't, so it's going to factually be considered a bomb because it's a ways below its budget. So yeah, it's going to bomb for realsies. But anyway, Glenn Powell was good. Not as good as Schwarzenegger in the classic. I did like Josh Brolin though. He was pretty good. Michael Cera was pretty good. So was Coleman Domingo. Yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. If it's still at your theater, check it out. And check out my spoiler-free review of this if you haven't seen it yet as well. Next at number 5 is The Naked Gun. This is the new Legacy sequel. I must admit, Liam Neeson did a good job on this than I had anticipated. Pamela Anderson was good. I like the story. Of course, this focuses on Frank Drebin Jr. Yep, really good. We did have some other good performers. Paul Walter Hauser was good as Ed Hawkins Jr. I gotta say that was pretty good. Check out my spoiler-free review of this if you haven't seen it yet. This movie's worth looking into. Now, coming in at number 4 is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Very good movie. I thought this was a real terror tale and a pretty good take on the classic tale. I mean, Oscar Isaac, his performance as Victor Frankenstein was absolutely good. Jacob Elordi does great as the Creature. Christoph Waltz was good. So was Mia Goth. I gotta say, this was absolutely really good. Check out my spoiler-free review of this if you haven't seen it, and check out this movie. This is a real good terror tale, definitely. Of course, it's a Netflix film. Coming in at number 3, here's another Netflix film, and that is In Your Dreams. Now, this is a new animated film Netflix has given to us about, well, two siblings who journey into the wildly absurd landscape of their own dreams to ask the Sandman to grant them the perfect family. I thought this film was pretty good and pretty colorful in ways. It did have a bit of an issue, though. I will explain as it will be featured in one of the two mini reviews that's coming up. Details to follow on which vid that's going to be a part of. I think you'll probably know which one it is. But anyway, not too bad of an animated film. It's pretty good. And number 2 is Wicked for Good. Yes, we get the sequel to last year's big hit. Unfortunately, I'm not thrilled with how much mixed reviews we're getting for this one. I'm really not thrilled with that. Even though I do think this was good, but not quite close as good as its predecessor in ways. It did have a flaw or two within it, but I still think it had good soundtrack. Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande were still good, just like last time. The rest of the cast wasn't too bad, but boy, it really, really kind of surprised me in some parts. Check out my spoiler-free review of this if you haven't seen it yet. But if Wicked for Good second, then that means my number one first-time watch of November 2025 is none other than The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad from 1988, the original itself. What a fun-filled blast this was. I mean, in the years since this came out, I had never actually taken the time to watch this completely, but now I have. This film is absolutely crazy. Leslie Nielsen's pretty funny. He steals the show every time he comes on, and he's just a card, as Frank Drebin. Absolutely funny. Priscilla Presley's good. Everyone's really good in this. So anyway, I really thought this film was so hysterical. The craziness would go on throughout this whole movie, especially the baseball game and what have you. It was really good. I had a real fun blast with this crazy movie. I've already reviewed this film. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out. So that's it. That's my ranking. What did you think? Give me your first time watches of November. What are they? You can give me your top pick, your top 3, top 5, top 10. You be the judge. If you will, leave them for me in the comment section below, please. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel. You know the rest. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of The Conjuring Last Rites. So if you like this, check out my reviews of these other films that I've just tackled. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of my top film, The Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad. Or go to the upper right-hand corner and see my spoiler-free review of Wicked for Good. Or if you would like something else that I've recently done, but I could recommend this, my spoiler-free review of The Naked Gun from this year. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.